Hello everybody, welcome to This Day. It is Saturday, November 1st. I'm Michael Taylor, and you know it's a Saturday because I'm here at the desk. And I especially appreciate the desk on this Saturday because, I have to sample a lot of the Halloween candy that the kids, I'm passing out because it's about quality control. If I'm not going to eat it, I shouldn't give it to them. And so, anyway, my stomach is, a little grumbly this morning, but we're going to make it through the day. And to do that, we're going to watch a great show. And we have a great show for you, just like I say. Harvard Eye Associates Dr. John Hovhannissian is going to be here talking about all things eyeballs. And then Doc, Stuart Roberts and Sally Roberts are going to be here. It is medical tourism for dentistry. We're going to tell you about how that works and the trip that they arrange for you to go down to just over border in Mexico and get dental work done at cut rate prices, but still the quality's there. So we're going to talk about all that and more with them. Right now, though, we want you to stay informed. And just after Halloween, this is no trick or treat. It is time to end daylight savings time, right? So that's going to happen overnight tonight and Sunday morning. We fall back. So you get that extra hour. It's easier these days with all the automated phones and all the connected things. So it used to be a big problem. They're like, oh no, I'm late for this because you forgot to set your clocks back. But remember, we are going back to regular standard time. And so when you wake up, you get that extra hours of sleep. That's nice. I always enjoy that. Daylight savings. Those oven clocks, those are the last things, the stoves and the microwave clocks, last ones you ever have to fix anymore. All right, let's take a quick check of our weather as I ramble on about daylight saving times. We got great temperatures for this weekend. You're going to enjoy them. Low 80s. Going to be a little bit warmer than usual for right now after those Santa Anas passed through last week. And so we got low 80s for the weekend and into Monday, and then we hit the 70s. Then we start seeing a real good cool off, right? 74 on Wednesday. Look at that. It's November, so we should start feeling temperatures in 70s and, dare I say, 60s, I hope, later on this month. Let's take a look at our sunrise, sunset picture, and we've got a great one from Bree, always telling us where she is on these trips she gets to go on. This one is in Sumba, Indonesia. Sumba, Indonesia, there you go. Little horses going down the street. I don't see Bree on a horse. Where's the courage? Come on, Bree, get on that horse. I want to see a picture of you right down on the sunset picture. Sunrise today was 7:10. Sunset tonight is going to be 5:58. If you have a great picture, you don't have to go all the way to Indonesia like Bree did. You can do it right here. Take a picture of the neighborhood, your pets, places around town, sunrise, sunsets right here in the community. We'd love to use them. Email those pictures to Laguna Woods Village TV @gmail.com. Make sure you include your name, where you took the picture, and we'll use it in our sunrise sunset segment. Okay, when we come back, we're going to be talking to folks from Harvard Eye Associates. Stay with us.
Your eyes let you see the world, every smile, every sunset, every moment.
At Harvard Eye Associates, our team of specialists is here to protect your vision.
From cataracts and glaucoma to retina and cornea care, we offer the latest treatments with a compassionate touch.
For over 50 years, you've trusted us with your eyes. We're honored to care for them for years to come.
Harvard Eye Associates, the future of vision today.
Time to talk to Dr. John Hovhannissian from Harvard Eye Associates, and we have Halloween coming up, which is spooky, but he's got some scary stuff to tell us about for Halloween. Some don'ts.
It's amazing, and I hear Costco has Christmas decorations and stuff already.
Costco had Christmas decorations like 2 months ago. It was ridiculous. There was I was looking at an advent calendar in like August.
Yeah, right. Get it now before they run out. That's how they get you, isn't it?
Yeah. So folks are doing costumes and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Some people go all out. They do the makeup, they do the scars, they do the wigs, they do everything. And sometimes people wear little colored contacts.
And they sure are cool looking.
They're cool looking.
They sure, it sure is appealing to have, it's eye-catching. You should forgive the expression. And it's, it's unique and all that, but it can be dangerous.
Right. And so there's some products out there that are just not. They're not right? They're coming from different countries. They're not really certified. They really shouldn't even be in the country, right? But they're somehow getting through.
Yeah. Contact lenses are regulated by the FDA, just like drugs are. And they're supposed to be approved products. And that means that they meet certain safety criteria for what's in the package with the lens, what chemicals can be in there, and labeling in terms of how you wear them. And then the second thing is how they fit your eye. Contact lenses really ideally need to be fit. Our eyes are not all created equal, and not all contact lenses fit well. And a poorly fitting contact lens can do a lot of harm to the eye.
Right.
So the first danger is contacts that are not FDA approved, and unfortunately you can find them online, you can find them in beauty parlors and drugstores and any number of places where you may not know. You'd assume that they'd have products that are FDA approved, but they're not.
Right, so they're kind of working around whatever it is, and there's some maybe shady vendors out there that are selling these to retailers and folks too, and they just don't know maybe.
Yeah, or they just don't know that what they're selling is dangerous. Some studies on these types of lenses, this is real, the danger that they have. Some of them had chlorine in them, and even after rinsing those contacts with contact lens solution, they still were releasing
Now, why
chlorine
in
into
the world would you put chlorine into a contact lens solution when chlorine is the most irritant thing that can do to your eyes? I mean,
This is a great question. I mean, chlorine is a great disinfectant, so what you won't have in there is bacteria and viruses, but what you will have in there is chlorine. And even rinsing it, a contact lens is really just a tiny little transparent sponge. And it soaks up everything that it's,
absorbs.
Touches. And that includes whatever's in the vial with it, but also bacteria that are on your eye. And contact lenses, when on your eye, they provide this nice, comfortable, smooth, wet coating so you don't feel discomfort when infections or injuries are happening underneath. And that happens commonly with these.
Right, and so like a sponge, there's going to be some seepage when you put it in your eye, and that chlorine's coming out. What kind of damage can direct contact with chlorine do to your eyes?
Sadly, like any chemical injury, chlorine can destroy the surface of the eye. It can blind you effectively and permanently. It's a very hard type of blindness to fix. We can't even do successful corneal transplants for people who have chemical injuries. Now, I'm not aware whether that has happened, but certainly there have been injuries from these lenses. A lot of them have patterns that are in them, so it looks like a tiger eye or it looks like a cat's eye, but that's because there's a pattern that's stamped into the lens, and that is in many cases not a smooth surface, and it's exposed
so it's
to
be
the eye.
raised like a print kind of thing.
That's right. In some cases, those have caused injury to the eye, but again, you don't really feel it because that smooth contact lens sitting on the eye kind of masks the the feeling. And so the message for viewers really is quite simple on this one. Just don't wear these costume contact lenses unless they have been prescribed by a doctor who's properly fit them for you, and you know that they are, if they're prescribed, that means they're probably FDA approved products. Don't just go into a hardware store, a grocery store, beauty parlor, wherever, hairdresser, where they sell these and say, "Oh, that looks like fun. I'm going to stick that in my eye." It sounds like a bad common sense, and it is.
Now, have you ordered people color? I mean, I assume some people, hey, I want to have blue eyes this week or something. But have you ever ordered Halloween type or fun type?
Yeah, there are. The legitimate vendors of contact lenses absolutely do have some of these costume lenses that are, FDA approved, proven safe. Reasonable to use, and our doctors who prescribe contacts, yeah, sure, you bet. It's and even if you don't need glasses or contacts, you can, for vision, you can wear one for costume purposes. So they're not categorically a bad idea. It's just the ones that are not regulated are a bad idea.
Yeah, that's the genuine hazard there, right? So
That's right.
Watch out for that. Make sure that it's FDA approved. Go to your vision doctor and make sure these things are happening well.
Exactly.
So what are some of the things that people do this time of year? Is there a season for going to the eye doctor, or is it just kind of my annual checkup, or is it, when the winter or the more sunny days, or what is kind of like, what do you have this time of year?
Well, so it's a great question. Any time of year is a good time to go. What's important is that you go, and certainly people over 40, it's recommended that annually that you have an eye exam, even if you don't wear glasses or contacts, even if you're not having eye problems, because there are silent thieves of sight that happen, diseases like glaucoma that have no symptoms at all, that are really important to pick up. One thing to think about, a thorough eye exam often involves dilating the eyes. That's putting in eye drops that make the pupil big, and that does make your vision a bit blurry for a number of hours. If you're concerned about that, bring someone to drive you home or take an Uber. If it's during the sunniest part of the day, that may be more irritating because your eyes are going to be bothered by brighter light. So doing it a little bit later. Dark, it's also difficult to drive in the dark with your eyes dilated. So just because the focus is not as good as normal. So maybe toward the end of the workday is a good time if that seems more comfortable to you.
Dilate me on the winter solstice when it's nice and dark. I have early
Shortest day of
sunset.
the year. Yeah, it's coming. Feels like it's here already, doesn't it? The days have gotten shorter.
When we talk about the difference between wearing contacts, if I have a vanity, I don't want to wear these glasses, I want to wear contacts all the time. What are some of the things that we're talking about in general for people to watch out for when they're ordering contacts? Not the costume ones anymore, but just contacts in general. Yeah. Are there some people who just can't wear contacts because of certain conditions in the eye?
That is true. One of the chief common ones that we see that makes it difficult to wear contacts is dryness of the eye. Dry eye is incredibly common, especially as we get older. And there are ways that we can help folks with dry eye to tolerate their contact lenses better, things like punctal plugs and other treatments that are simple things that can really work. Another warning for people who wear contacts, never wear them overnight. One thing that you do when you wear your contacts overnight is you increase by 20 times the risk that you will develop a potentially blinding infection in the eye.
Oh, but you know, I remember, maybe I haven't seen this in a long time, but I remember there were contacts that came out that were like, you wear them all the time, you wear them for a day or 48 hours, a month.
Yeah,
or
approved
whatever.
out to a month, you're right. There were lenses approved for that type of use, and they're just not a great idea. You're talking to the guy who does the corneal transplant for people who develop those infections, and I would never let my kids or a loved one. In fact, it's a funny part about my relationship with my wife. When we were first dating, she was wearing those type of contacts and would wear them for 2 weeks at a time. And I said, "I'm sorry, I can't date you if you're wearing these lenses overnight. I just can't do it."
Deal breaker.
And so, thankfully, she chose me over the contact lenses. Eventually,
how close was the call?
It was. I don't think she's ever quite told me that. But a couple of years later, we did LASIK, and she's never worn contacts since. Still has better vision even than I do, and I'm 20/20. So
there you go.
That was 25 years ago.
So in the different kinds of contacts, there's the disposable, you throw it every day, there's longer term ones. Are there differences that you prescribe? Do you see people going in different directions, and why have the differences?
Yeah, it's very individual. So contact lenses do come in daily disposable varieties where you just like the name implies. And particularly for people who have eyes that are more dry or who have allergies, that's a nice solution. It's also convenient. You don't have to put them in solution and store them. And when you travel, you just toss them out at the end of the day. And we always tell folks, anytime you've got irritation in your eye with a contact lens, get it out of your eye, because if you're feeling it, it's probably worse than you think, because that contact is masking.
Yeah, the irritation's
how badly
telling you
it would
something.
be. Yeah, so there are contacts that are made for people with astigmatism, contacts that are multifocal, so you can see far and near, kind of like your multifocal glasses or your bifocals or progressives that people wear. There are a whole variety of them. A good eye doctor who understands all this technology helps you find a match for what your lifestyle is. It's great if you're going to the doctor for contacts or glasses. Bring in the reading material that you commonly use, or if you like to knit, bring in your knitting and hold it, show the doctor, I hold it here when I do this. Demonstrate, because then they can give you a pair of glasses or contacts that are made to help you see right at that range, make you more comfortable for all those hours you spend doing the things you like to do. And so your doctor is your partner, and there to help you find a solution that's comfortable, safe, and will keep you seeing well for years.
Okay, here's just an interested question. I'm just because I'm interested. If I have contacts and I wear bifocals, how do you make the contact make sure the bifocal stays on the bottom the whole time? Doesn't it just kind of swirl around in my eye?
It's a great question.
Sometimes?
So there are some contacts that work that way, where you as your eye looks down, you look through the lower part of the lens. They have what's called a ballast, which makes that part of the lens stay in position. We do that also with astigmatism correcting contacts in some cases, so that there's a little ballast so that it stays lower. Some contacts, though, it doesn't matter how it rotates, because they're multifocal because of concentric rings in the lens that help focus differently. Okay. It turns out as you look up close, your pupil gets a little bit smaller, and that means that you're focusing through a slightly different part of the contact, and so that can be focused for near vision. We use the same concept for a lot of the multifocal implant lenses that we use that help people see through a range of distance. Cool technology, isn't it?
What an amazing world we live in.
Smart engineers figure this stuff out.
Dr. John Hovannisian from Harvard Eye Associates. If you're thinking about contacts, eye exams in general, whatever it might be, they're there for you. Thanks a lot. And don't buy costume jewelry contacts. If you take away one thing from today's conversation.
Don't let your loved ones do it.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
You're watching This Day. We'll be right back.
Laguna Woods residents, there's a 70% chance you will need long-term care, yet Medicare doesn't cover it. Will you and your family be ready? Hi, I'm Mike Barrett, your Laguna Woods long-term care insurance specialist. I'm here to protect you, your family, your assets, and your lifestyle to secure your future. Call today for a free consultation at 949-525-0606.
Dental care in America is broken. If you need a dental implant in the States, you're looking at somewhere between $3,600 and up to $8,000, and that's per tooth. And for a full mouth restoration, you're talking somewhere between $40,000 and $100,000. The good news is there's a solution. That's where HebeDoc comes in. We're not a dental clinic. We're a US-based one-stop solution for affordable, safe dental care right here in Mexico without the risk.
And welcome back to the program. Are you concerned about your teeth? You know, like the appearance of them, all sorts of reasons why you might want to talk to the folks at HebeDoc. I want to welcome to the program Stu and Sally Roberts. Thanks for joining us again.
Thanks so much for having us.
Great talking to you a little while back and work behind it back. For folks who don't know, tell us a little bit about what HebeDoc is all about.
In short, dental tourism. We're helping Americans save, on average, 63% off their full mouth restorations. So it's major dental work.
And so it's the tourism part, so we're not doing it here in the United States, we're doing it just over the border in what we call it, nicknamed Molar City?
Correct, yes. Just across the border from Yuma, Arizona. So it's about a three-hour ride from here. And we're picking people up at their house in Orange County and driving them to the border and crossing the border with them.
And I guess that's one of the realities of medical pricing and medical costs here in the United States. So many people are going south of the border for maybe prescriptions, some procedures and things like that. That's the reality. What are people, let's talk a little bit about some of your clients and what they're saying about like how happy they are about what's going on. Let's talk about like Tracy's story.
So Tracy came to us at 63 after raising 3 kids, putting them through college. She had spent the better part of a couple decades putting off her needs and interests, and finally it was time to do something about her teeth. She went to the dentist. She had an outlandish quote of $65,000. He said he could do the quick and the dirty, if you will, for $43,000.
Wow.
She talked it over with her husband, her sister as well, and her sister mentioned that she had heard of people going to Mexico to have dental work done. So she found us online at hebedoc.com and asked 1,000 questions. We did a number of interviews with her, video consultations with the dentist. She and her daughter came down, and after the first trip went back home, her husband Mike saw the results, was blown away, and then on the second trip, he came down and had his teeth done.
Wow.
We've saved them collectively over $80,000 on their dental work. And what's really interesting about this is I got a text this week from Tracy. She and Mike were on their way to Ireland for 2 weeks. And
From the money they saved on their mouth.
that's right. And she had reminded me, she wanted me to know that the only way they could afford to do this was because of HebeDoc. So it's stories like that that really are the reason we're doing this.
And Sally, do you have, is it a lot of the people coming to your office, a lot of like assuring people that this is, you know, good dental work by professionals and they're board certified kind of folks?
It is. I mean, people at first are looking just because they're looking for a cheap option, right? Or something that's way less than in the United States. But then when we speak to them, we want them to know, I mean, we are trying to bring people to the highest quality providers, like as if they're our own family. And so we take them there, and it's the highest quality like equipment and materials. They use like German Straumann implants, and just it's definitely, we've done all the research to vet the providers that we use. Now, but like for example, my mom, I wanted to surprise her last Christmas. So Stu and I, actually it was Stu's idea. But she was one of those few people that, she had adult acne when she was in her late 30s, and she took tetracycline. And basically, there's 3% of the people, it turns your teeth gray.
Oh, wow.
So her teeth have been gray for over 40 years. And finally, and she refused to go. We've been trying to get her to go. And so finally I was going to Los Algodones to meet with some of the clinics and some of our patients. And I convinced her to go with me because she was in town. So I took her out there, and Stu had already convinced the dentist to convince my mother that he was going to take care of her. So we got her whole new smile done when she was over last Christmas.
And I bet she's smiling all the time now.
She is. She refused to do it before because she didn't want to spend the money. She's in her 80s. She's like, what kind of time do I have left?
And let me say this, that's a confidence thing too. When you know people don't want to smile because of their teeth, it hides what their true emotions, all those kinds of things, and that self-consciousness. So do you feel like people really come out once they have this work done?
It's huge.
Definitely. I mean, she used to be a model. She used to. She was in print. She's been in Delta brochures, Delta Airlines, and modeled clothing. And just to see her smile, she cried after. She was so happy to have her smile back.
Oh wow! Well, she maybe started out that modeling career for the golden age years.
Yes, exactly.
We have another one I want to talk about real quick. Mark, he has another interesting story, right?
Yes. So Mark is a sound engineer, works for like top acts like Elton John, Bruce Springsteen, Gwen Stefani. He had called like at the end of my day, and he said, "Look, I've been holed up in my house for 2 months now since my car accident because I'm afraid to leave because my teeth look ridiculous and I can't be seen." And he said, "But I have to do sound for Bruce Springsteen's concert in 2 weeks, and I need to go do something about it right now." He's like, "I even took an implantology class online so that I could get more educated on what to do, and I've been researching and researching."
That's crazy.
And he's like, "I found HebeDoc. You guys have great reviews, and I just wanted to hear more about it." So I told him more about HebeDoc and how we have a 5-year guarantee that on materials and services that our dentists that we work with are completely vetted, that they have the education. They even do continuing education in the States. So he spoke with him about it. Then he said, "Well, I want to know who you work with." So I rattled off something. Okay. So I rattled off some names of dentists that we work with. He recognized one of them from his research. And he said, "If you can get me in to see that person next week, I'm going to go." I said, "Okay." And so I made an appointment. He went out there and he got his teeth done. He got temporaries to start. Usually it takes 2 visits.
Right.
But if you have to have implants, they need like 3 to 4 months to heal first. So he got his temporaries on. He was able to hang out with Bruce Springsteen and the crew. Very excited. We're just so relieved.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Like people have accidents, right? The things happen. They chip tooth, they break something like that, and that can be done at HebeDoc through HebeDoc, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's amazing. All right, I want to get some more stories. We have Leonard's story. He's a 50-year-old from Beverly Hills.
Yes. So Leonard came to us. He read our reviews online, and he said he needed a root canal. Now, he lives in Beverly Hills. He has a lot of options. Not pressed for money, and it's not one, but he likes value, and he runs 5 restaurants. He has over 200 employees, and he came to us and he needed a root canal. He had gone to see his dentist in Beverly Hills, and his dentist set him up with a endodontist for the root canal. He said I had to wait 4 weeks to get in to see the endodontist.
Oh, wow.
And the endodontist's idea of deducing what he needed was to blow air on the tooth and said, "Does that hurt?" And he said, "Yes, that hurts."
It's always a good time.
And he said, "How much?" He said, $1,800. I said, "No." So he came to us and came down to Mexico, and for $400, we took care of his root canal. And he's since sent a number of his employees.
Wow.
So we love stories like that because we're seeing now more and more people who they're not coming because they have to. They're coming because it makes sense to.
That's what I was saying last time too. It's so convenient. So he had to go see his regular dentist and then go see a specialist. And for us, we have a clinic that we'll work with that has the dentist come to you. So they come up with your full treatment plan and they handle it all there in that visit. So it's just amazing that you can go just to one place, you get door-to-door service, and you can get the whole problem taken care of. You don't have to make multiple appointments for different clinics.
Okay. As we kind of wrap up here, I want to talk about some of the pricing for some of the things you guys do, so people have an understanding of like the numbers they've heard here, and then the numbers you guys can give them through HebeDoc and those services.
Yes, absolutely. So we have a 20 veneer package. Now, if you go to see a dentist here in Orange County, 20 veneers is going to run you somewhere between $30,000 and $40,000.
Wow.
We can do that for 10. Now, these are the same materials that you would get here with your dentist, top of the line. Emax, we did an Emax treatment recently. I mean, this is what the celebrities
What's an Emax?
get.
I don't know what
Emax is a special kind of finish on the tooth. It's, call it a higher brand, if you will, a higher tier. It's dentists here are selling that for between $2,500 and $3,000 a tooth.
Ooh.
We do that for $500 a tooth.
Wow.
Full mouth restoration, which is our specialty, you're looking at about $25,000. Now, this it sounds like a lot of money, but to get a quote here, you're looking at somewhere between $60,000 and $80,000. This includes extractions, it includes sedation, everything that you would need for your teeth. And it's important that people know when they get quotes, know what's being quoted. We're working with top-of-the-line German Straumann implants, Neodent. So typically a dentist will quote you and they won't even tell you what they're quoting. So always ask, what are you quoting? And make sure that you're getting a high-quality material.
I mean, the type of materials are really important too. I mean, if you get a cheap PMMA, it's going to last you like maybe 5 to 10 years.
Right, and then you're back in the same place you were.
Right, but the zirconia will last you like 20 years, and it's 6 times as hard as your regular teeth. So you have to be careful to know what they're quoting you as well, because you don't want to end up back in the chair again in 6 to 10 years.
Sounds pretty strong. Crack walnuts with those teeth. All right. Well, Stu and Sally Roberts from Hebe Doc, thank you guys so much for joining us and appreciate you being here.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having us.
You're watching This Day. We'll be right back.
Perandi's Stunt Dog Experience, featuring the best stunt dogs on planet Earth. Watch man's best friend reach incredible new heights. Paws down, these are the most talented dogs you'll ever meet. As seen on The Tonight Show, Ellen and Oprah, these stunt dog stars will soar, spin, jump, and fly as everyone chants doggone fun. Get ready to howl with laughter.
Time to talk about our Saturday movie. We're going to start November off with some laughs. It is Honeymoon in Vegas. Stars Nicolas Cage, Sarah Jessica Parker, James Caan, and of course the Flying Elvis' Utah chapter. It's brought to us by Advanced Ear Care. It's going to be at 2 p.m. with the subtitles and 6 p.m. without the subtitles. The story of Nicholas, his character Jack, loses $65,000 in a poker game in Las Vegas where he's marrying Betsy. The wedding will have to wait, though, as the poker winner wants the weekend with Betsy to cancel the debt. She accepts. Who will she marry in the end? It's a cliffhanger. It's a fun romantic comedy. You'll enjoy it. That's our Saturday movie. Let's take a check of the weather. If you're not going to watch movies, hey, go out and enjoy the day. Golf, walk around the neighborhood. It's going to be nice temperatures through the whole weekend. We're going to have a basic low 80s through the weekend and into Monday, and then we'll have start a little bit of a cooling trend on Tuesday and Wednesday. Temperatures into the mid-70s and then lower mid-70s on Wednesday. I'm liking the direction of those temperatures going for November. All right, folks, tomorrow, or Monday on the program rather, we are going to be welcoming Korean American Association and TGIF Club are going to be here, and Bree will be here as well, so stay tuned for that. That's going to do it for this edition of This Day. I'm Michael Taylor. For all of us here at Village Television, we hope you make this day a great one.
Say, can you see?